here today to talk about one of our favorite topics that we report on, the professional skincare market. Dana and I and our other colleague, Sai, have been so busy the last few months, just covering all the cool things going on in the market, and not only here in the US, but in other parts of the world. But let's get right to the hot news that everyone's talking about, which is acquisitions. Started, 2 years ago, I think, maybe 3, with Kate buying Elta MD and Blackstone buying CO, and now this just in 1 month we've had 2 huge acquisitions. Waldencast has purchased Dibaji, and Griffin has purchased Revision. So, why do you think the momentum has definitely continued? And why are these brands rising to the top and really radar for investment firms?
It's definitely very exciting to see, and this market is so dynamic, especially the physician-dispensed space, which is so resilient. We saw that during the pandemic, but it's really the way the professional skincare marketers are servicing their physician accounts. They're doing this in several ways, prioritizing digital initiatives, which has really become huge. A lot of marketers have significantly increased their investments with those efforts, social media as well. And, we think about the general market, right? In beauty influencers on YouTube, Instagram, they've played such a vital role. And when we look at the professional space, the doctors have really become the influencers. So at the end of the day, really collaborating with the physicians and the estheticians to become business partners has been crucial in this space.
Anyone that talks to me knows I love to watch what they have to say, all the tips that they're giving their followers, and yeah, these doctors as influencers has definitely, I think, been a key initiative that these brands have taken to. So so we have digital and doctors as influencers, but you've been chatting with all of our partners, which is what we do. Put together our reports, we reach out to all our partners, and it seems like there's a lot of interesting distribution initiatives that have been a key factor in the stellar performance of most of these brands. Can you spotlight a few of these initiatives that you've been hearing about?
This has been a huge topic of conversation this year. We're seeing a lot of distribution expansion, but something that I think is really important to point out is med spas and these aesthetic destinations that are really just focused on skincare and skin treatments. They're becoming a much brighter spot in the market more than ever before. And a couple of examples that I would like to point out here are really kind of these spa chains that are emerging and opening new locations and partnering with the professional skincare marketers. So Ideal Image was a big story this year. They have more than 150 locations in the US, and they partnered with Elta MD and Alastin, 2 of their first partnerships with skincare brands. So that was really exciting. Another one that we're hearing a lot about is Skin Spirit. A lot of those that we track in this report are partnered with that med spa chain. They're really focused in Utah, California, Texas, and they just expanded into New York City with their 20th location.
Sounds like we're going to have to make a trip to New York City to check
yes,
it out.
I think we will have to. And then and then on the other side of it, we have branded locations, which are starting to become more important in this space. SkinCeuticals, what they're doing with their Skin Lab locations are really interesting. They're on track to be at about 10 or 11 locations by end of this year. And what they're doing with that space is they're really tapping into the younger consumer, right? That's starting their aesthetic journey by offering really express, simplified skin treatments.
All cool stuff, for sure. I can't wait to check out some of these new venues. And it's just from the little research I've done, it seems like a lot of the new outlets that had to close down during the pandemic have reemerged and are opening. And so do you think that sales are going to focus away from spas and to these medi spas. I mean, we're hearing like excellent reports on Massage Envy, for example, and you know they're doing a really great skincare business.
I think that's something we'll start to see more so when we consider the spa channel, right? A lot of those day spa chains and independent day spa locations. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see them kind of elevate their offerings and kind of lean into that esthetician space a little bit more by expanding their brand portfolio and as well as their service offering, you know, kind of bringing in some of those more elevated, really in demand services like Botox and you know what we've been hearing through our conversations. Yeah.
Speaking of Botox, we recently completed a really terrific professional skincare consumer survey where we talked to 500 consumers, talked in quotation marks, and we asked them about like what's in store for 2022. What are they thinking? What are they spending? And like we were really excited, right? I mean, good news ahead for everyone in the market. Consumers are really spend more on non-invasive aesthetic treatments like Botox. First, you got to get into a dermatologist's office. There's quite a backlog there, and you know definitely Botox, but they're willing to. It looks like from like the results that they're good at planning to spend more on services and products. Is that what you kind of see?
Yeah, that's a really exciting point to make, Karen, because not only is that going to, you know, support foot traffic to the physician's office or the medical spa, but it also gives more opportunity to retail product for take-home use. And that's something we've been seeing a lot, right? Bridging that gap between in treatment and at-home care. So a lot of exciting things ahead for this space, for sure.
It's going to be another like fabulous year in 2021. If these tidbits that Dana and I share interest you, please reach out to us. We have, you know, we'd be glad to talk to you about what kind of reports we have, how we can, you know, suit your needs and what we have to offer. Most of our base year 2021 reports will be published within the next few months, and we, you know, love to collaborate. Thanks, Dane. Fun chatting about our favorite subject.
Yeah. Good. Thanks so much, Karen.
Bye.